She looked at the page before you said anything.
Okay, today and tomorrow and Friday, our focus is order of operations. Raise your hand if you can tell me PEMDAS. What? Okay, what it says, parentheses, blah, 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 blah. But what's like that cute little phrase that sometimes math teachers say, Denise? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. I don't know the cookie one. I don't know the cookie one. Okay, so the P stands for parentheses. Okay, we need to do those first. Now, I will say that sometimes you will see the P as a G, like G for grouping. It's not always parentheses. Sometimes you might see like these bracket type things, or we now know what an absolute value is. And so if we have an absolute value and there's something happening inside, those are grouped together. We'll look at those kind of like we would parentheses, okay? So after we do inside the parentheses, then we need to move to E, exponents, okay? I have a question. If I have something like 5 squared, who can raise their hand and tell me what 5 squared means, Jada? It means 5 times 5. Or if I had 5 cubed, it would be 5 times 5 times 5. Okay. Okay. Multiplication and division are tied. So if you have multiplication and division, then we just go left to right. Okay. Then after we've gotten all of that done, then we can add and subtract. Oof. Okay. And if you have more than one, we'll go left to right. Okay. So parentheses or grouping symbols. So I'm going to even just write that grouping is sometimes what we like to look at. Parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. Okay. We have more than one, then we will go left to right. Okay. Left to right, left to right. Okay. So basically our focus today is to make sure that we understand how to work our order of operations. Okay. So let's go to this cute little pennant right here. And I think that it will help us if we take the advice of this little cloud bubble right here. It says that we should underline the step you are on and bring down the rest of the problem. So if we think about PEMDAS, P for parentheses, do you see any parentheses?
Yes.
Yes, okay, so I'm gonna take my pen and I'm gonna underline our parentheses, okay? Inside our parentheses. Ryan, what's 5 minus 9?
4. Oh, -4.
You sure about -4?
Okay. Wait. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Ryan's maybe like a little wishy-washy. Remember when we're subtracting integers, it's totally fine to say keep, change, change. Right? Okay, so are you still feeling like the -4 is good?
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna change our in the parentheses to -4 and everything else gets left as is. Okay, so now what's the next thing we need to do? We've taken care of any parentheses inside the parentheses. I know we have parentheses there, but who can tell me what this parenthesis is really meaning right now? -4, and what's happening to the 4? Okay, so that's another way of us saying multiply. Okay, so the parentheses are done because inside the parentheses is simplified. So since we have parentheses done, we move to E, exponents. Trent, do you see any exponents?
Yes.
Yes, I see 2 cubed right here. Trent, what does 2 cubed mean?
2 Times 2 times 2.
Okay, 2 times 2 times 2 equals. So this becomes 8. Okay. Excellent. We've taken care of parentheses. We've taken care of exponents. Notice how I'm underlining the step that I'm going to do. So now we go to multiplication and division. Okay. How many multiplication and divisions do we have? We only have one, don't we? We only have to worry about 4 times negative 4. Okay. Cordell, what is 4 times negative 4?
4 times negative 4.
Yeah.
Negative 16.
Good. So we have 8 plus negative 16 plus 12 plus negative 2. Okay, now we have what looks a lot like a problem we had on our quiz last week, which I gave back to you, and we're going to talk here in a second about what you need to do with those, okay? All right, so now we have addition all the way across, so we just need to go from left to right. And luckily it's all addition, so we can just think about our integer rules from a couple weeks ago. So the first thing we have is 8 plus negative 16. I'm adding 2 different numbers. They have different signs. So I'm going to subtract the 2 numbers and keep the bigger sign. So what sign am I keeping? Positive or negative? Negative. All right, so we're going to keep going left to right. Now I have negative 8 plus 12. Negative 8 plus 12 is 4. And now I have 4 plus negative 2. And 4 plus negative 2 gives us 2. Now, some of you might have done, you're totally good. You got the same answer. Okay, and I was just going to point this out. Some of you may have said, okay, well, I can do this 8 plus negative 16 together, and I can do this 12 plus negative 2 together, and then add those numbers. Arislyn, you did that. How'd that go for you? So good. Did you get 2? She totally did. It's fine if you are at like an operation that's tied, if it's all addition and subtraction. If you want to kind of group things up together, there's no problem with that. There is a problem though if you're doing that with 2 different operations like multiplication and addition. That would not be okay. Okay, what questions do you have? All right. I want you to look at the next page, and I just want you to look at the problem real quick. Just look at it, analyze what you think we should do first, second, third. Okay, and this is what I want you to do. I want you and your partner to decide. Don't write anything down. Just decide what should we do first, what should we do second. Go ahead and talk about it. All right. Kinley, what did you and Arislyn talk about doing first? Okay, the one that with the parentheses. Parentheses comes first, and please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay. Now there's a lot going on with these parentheses right here. First, I want to talk about these parentheses right here. -3 is inside these parentheses. There's nothing we can do with it. That's just a way for them to say, hey, you're multiplying this. Okay. Now, this right here, we have 9 divided by 3 inside the parentheses. When we talk about parentheses or our grouping symbols, we need to talk about it being inside. Okay. So we are going to do this first right here. 9 divided by 3. Which is what? Oh, okay. Okay. Now, what comes next? Corin, what did you and Bronson decide? Needed to come second. The exponents, okay? 3 cubed means 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. And it's fine if you keep it in parentheses or you just write the multiplication symbol, either one is fine, okay? If it's a negative number, I would really suggest that you keep it in the parentheses for the multiplication. But if it's not a negative number, you can do either one. But I like if you have a negative number, putting it in those parentheses so that you know that it's that negative goes with it. And if you're multiplying, you're not thinking it's subtraction. Okay. All right. So now we have multiplication and subtraction. So our multiplication needs to come first. That minus -3, we are waiting till the very end to do. All right. So left to right, let's do this right here. -3 times 5. Ariana, what's -3 times 5? -15 times 27 minus -3. Oh gosh, we have to take -15 times 27 now. Whew. That's okay. We're gonna just need to use the scratch work over here. So I'm gonna take 27 times 15 over here. So I have 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 2 plus 3, right? $405. Did I do that right? Okay, so I have -405 minus -3. And what was our suggestion to you a couple weeks ago when we are subtracting integers? We have that keep, change, change. Okay, if we want to subtract, we can keep, change, change. -405 plus a +3. So I'm at -405 on my number line, and I need to go in the positive direction 3. Jada, where do we end up? Okay, but we're gonna keep it negative. We're still on that negative side. -402. Brady, do we need a calculator for that? No, we can do it without one. Okay, turn to the next page. Looks like this. Okay, I am gonna give you 2 minutes for you and your elbow partner to work through number 1 and number 2. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Work through those 2 problems for me. I don't want to take this with, okay? They're getting kind of picky about it. What? Ooh, what does that mean? I bet Trent is not the only one with this question. What does this slash mean right here? This means division. So if you want to say 12 divided by 4 squared minus 12, that would be okay. Okay, let's talk about these real quick. Okay, what do we have to do first?
The exponents, since there's
Where
no
did I put my
parentheses.
Right
there.
The exponents, what's 4 squared? So I have 12 divided by 16 minus 12, okay? 12 does not divide evenly by 16, so we're gonna have to write it as a fraction. Can I reduce this fraction? Okay, I'm so sorry that you feel that way. Okay. We can divide both of these by 4. So we have 3/4 minus 12. Can I take 3/4 minus 12? Right now we can't, but we can as long as they have common denominators. Okay, so we're gonna turn this into 3/4 minus 48/4. 12 times 4 is 48. What? Okay, now if you don't like subtraction, let's keep, change. And now we have 3 plus negative 48. Well, that's gonna be a negative 45/4, which we're gonna change to negative 11 and 1/4. Our time together went really quick today.
We're done.
We get out of here at 25.
Great.
Oh.
Do you understand?
Okay, so your second one is negative 58. Did you get negative 58?
Yes, yeah. What did I get?
Because we get negative 35 minus 23, keep, change, negative 35 plus a negative 23 gives us negative 58. Okay, I want to explain 2 things to you. Number 1, if you wanted to make quiz corrections, remember you're making them on this yellow piece of paper and you're describing what you did wrong. You will staple this to your quiz and turn it into the basket today, tomorrow, or Friday. They're due on Friday. Okay? Now, this homework assignment that I'm giving to you is what you can do tomorrow during 5th hour in class. I am going to grade it. Okay? So you are going to turn this in to be graded. Now, if you don't do it, you're going to get a 0.
What if I just do that?
Well, then I'll have something for you to do during 5th hour. Okay, look at it though. Look at the leaf. Do you see how there's problems in each of these little pieces?
Yes.
Okay, and then there's numbers over here that
Yes.
correspond to a color.
Yes.
Every number gets used, but here's the deal. Please do not color this until you know all of the answers. So like, if number 2's answer is 19, write 19 green, and then later when you have all of them, you will color it green. You need to do your work on a separate sheet of paper. I have colors for you that you can use tomorrow. So if you want to do the math tonight and color tomorrow, you can do that. Should you color as you do the math?
No.
No, color at the end. Should you do your work on here?
No.
No,